What's up, everybody? This is Ghoppin85, and always
the greatest noob, T-Bird 325, coming at you with our second episode of Ghoppin on your deck list. Greatest Noob Style, baby.
Ghoppin on your deck list.
Alright, so in this section, this segment of the Ghoppin series, we go to Yu-Gi-Oh! Planet.
Shout out to Yu-Gi-Oh! Planet. We will be putting your link right next to Kirby, right here, underneath T-Bird 325.
So I can get this
Other
right.
side. Come on, a little bit further. Right there.
There we go.
We're going to put it over there. So we're going to give you a shout out, and so people can go to your channel and check you out and, you know, make friends and trade and do whatnot, whatever you want to do. But
Exchange dual network names.
yeah, dual network's amazing. We got to fight to keep that site up, y'all. We really do.
Actually, I think it was just nothing but a hoax, but that's for a different...
That's a whole nother video. So we're going to do the setup for the video a little different this time. We're actually going to show you a quick version of the entire deck, side deck, and extra deck, and then we're going to go back and go over it thoroughly. So any answers can be asked and brought up and questioned and talked about, and anything else we can think of at the time, we will go over at the very end of it. But for time's sake purposes, we're just going to go over the deck real quick. So first off, the deck's name was what? Double Formula?
Double Formula.
Double Formula was the name of his deck. So runs 3 Giant Rats, 1 Spacian Grand Mole, 2 Naturia Bamboo Shoot, 3 Naturia Cliff, 3 Naturia Cherries, 2 Lonefire Blossoms, 1 Dandylion, 1 Spore, customized Squirtle, Squirt, 1 Glove Bulb. Oh, look at T-Bird back there, got the cards in line. 1 Snyffus. Oh, he got it. And last but not least, 3 Reborn Tengus. Where's your Tengus at?
Hey, I have 4 Tengus. I'm not trying to find them.
Alright. We'll let him slide this time. 2 creature swaps. 2 Pot of Avarice. 1... got him. 1 Mystical Space Typhoon. 1 Dark Hole. Uno Book of Moon.
Because playing 2 is too many.
Yeah, it says Konami. 2 Forbidden Chalice. 1 Foolish Burial. 1 Mark of the Rose. 1 Monster Reborn. 1 for 1. Sounded pretty cool.
Oh, you got this.
T-Bird's Tech. 1 Burden of the Mighty. Amazing choice. And last but not least, 1 Scapegoat. Alright, we're going to...
Anyone who knows me from way back when knows that I was stalwart before I became the greatest noob, and Scapegoats were just one of the most amazing versatile cards that you can use. I mean, it's a 1 for 4, you can sync it off, you can fuse with it, and you can sacrifice the tokens for plasma.
We're going to get to that later. We're going to get to that later.
It will.
Because we're going to get time framed in again. 1 Compulsory Evacuation Device. 2 Scrap Iron Scarecrows. 1 Call of the Haunted. 1 Mirror Force. 1 Solemn Judgement.
Oh, hello.
What did you do? Uh-oh. 1 Transmigration Prophecy.
Yeah.
1 Torrential Tribute. And 1 Dark Bribe. That is the main deck. It is 45 cards. We will be explaining why we went that number in a little bit. Let's go with the side deck. We side deck 3 Beast King Barbaros, 1 Titanial Princess of Camellias.
Yeah, I gotta hold mine up because that is my queen and she wins me games.
She is. She's amazing. 2 Wave Motion Cannons, 1 Mystical Space Typhoon,
Yeah, you got that.
1 Safe Zone. Card's broken.
Yes, bro.
2 Grave of the Super Ancient Organism. I hate saying that name.
Yeah. Other words come out when you start saying that thing.
It does.
Skill drain.
Dose.
2 of those.
Dose skill drains. 1 Royal Oppression. 1 Gozen match. And last but not least, 1 Dark Bribe. I'm going to go over the extra deck real quick for y'all. we had to stay within things that he wanted to keep in. So 3 Formula Synchrons, 1 Armory Arm, 1 Naturia Beast, 1 Ally of Justice Catastor, 1 Brionic Dragon of the Ice Barrier, 1 Naturia Barkion, 1 Queen of Thorns. Sad face for T-Bird not having one. Oh, he has one. I apologize. 1 Black Rose Dragon, 1 Scrap Dragon. Oh, look at him. 1 Colossal Fighter. I got Batman. Oh, he's got a regular one.
No, I got an ulti.
Oh, okay. I was going to use that one. 1 Stardust Dragon. I picked Articuno.
I got an ulti.
Oh. Alright, I want to see this one. Where's it at, T-Bird?
Yeah, I got it.
1 Trishula.
I'm sure. I got it.
Thanks. And last but not least, 1 Shooting Star Dragon. Alright, now we are going to go over the main deck for you. We're going to start off with monsters. I guess we'll start off with Giant Rat. We run 3 Giant Rats because he said this is the basis of the deck. If you look at all the attributes and the attack of the monsters, Giant Rat can almost bring out any monster in your deck for whatever situation you need. It's great fodder for the spell cards such as Creature Swap. It's got a really high defense for a little searcher monster. I think it's the highest defense for any of the searcher monsters that they have, like Mother Grizzly and Mystic Tomato and things like that. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, any other thing you want to talk about Giant Rat for?
Giant Rat, like you said, mixed with Creature Swap spells. Yeah, I'm getting another one to the field, and we're gonna spam the field and go Synchro Crazy on you. As far as with the Giant Rat, with a combination of Burden of the Mighty, means that your opponent has to have a 1900 attack monster starting off just so they can actually kill the rat and hope that you don't go into something else.
Alright, well, go ahead with the next monster.
Spacian Grand Mole. Grand Mole, 900 attack. Really beast move, especially against synchro monsters that are, like, say, Stardust, that protects themselves against destruction. Basically, they're going to go back. If your opponent is, we'll say, playing fairies and they drop out a, a Sewer Priest, and they're going to attack everything you got. So instead of going rat, Cliff, Cherry, and she beating them up, well, Giant Rat into a mole, and it'll stop it right there. They're going to stop their OTK right then and there. Also, Mole gives you outs to such annoying cards like Gravekeeper Spy, Raikou, and also everyone's most favorite hated card, the Xian, legendary 6 Samurai Xian. Oh,
amazing.
Get rid of him. No destruction.
Alright.
They will deprison him. They have to.
Alright, next card I'm going to go over. Throw it out a little bit. I'm going to go up with 3 Naturia Cliffs. Because the rat can search out the cliffs. Cliff is basically like another rat, kinda, because it only brings out Naturia monsters. Now the thing we wanted to tell, well, I'm going to let T-Bird tell you this. We want to make sure you understand the ruling on Naturia Cliff. It's not as broken as Reborn Tengu. So I'm going to let T-Bird go ahead and explain this to you. So make sure you understand this.
As soon as I saw this card come out, everyone was going crazy about it. This card's going to be worth $20 as soon as it comes out. No. If you use it for a Tribute Summon, if you use it for a Fusion, if you use it for a Synchro Summon or Exceed Summon, you will not get the effect of Naturia Cliff, because the last thing that happened was a monster hitting the field. If you destroy it by battle, however, and nothing else impedes with that, then yes, you can get another Cliff or another Naturia monster from your deck that fits inside of the parameters. But you don't want to think that you can summon, sack, and get something else out of it. It's not going to happen, because it's like you can. And the last thing that happened is a monster hitting the field. And if you want to know why it's happening like that, look up the Beating the Dark Clown ruins. That was the first monster of its kind to actually show off that ruin. So the next monster we're going to go into is Naturia Bamboo Shoot. Naturia Bamboo Shoot, when sacrificing a Naturia monster, well, kills your opponents from actually using magic and trap cards. Now, if they can't use their magic and trap cards, then they basically don't have anything. Then they'll have to use a Grand Mole to get rid of it, which means they have to use monster effects or beat Naturia Bamboo Shoot up regularly just so they can get it off the field, so that now they can actually gain their powerful Dark Hold, Torrential, Dark Bribe, and whatnot. Mixed in with Burden of the Mighty. Your opponent has to have a 2,500 attack monster just so they can, just starting off, and it has to be level 5. 25 at level 5 just to kamikaze. So if not, they have to be at level 26 at level 5 just so they can beat it up. So that's one of my favorite combinations, especially mixed with Save Zone.
Save Zone's amazing with it. The other combination with this card would be, where's it at? It was Forbidden Chalice, because, you know, Raikou really is a main card that people would get rid of this, and Gale. So whenever they use either one of those two effects, you can use the Forbidden Chalice to negate that monster's effects, or you can use Forbidden Chalice such if they go Cyber Dragon. Cyber Dragon's 100 more attack than this, and they declare an attack, you can use Forbidden Chalice to pump up, what is it? It pumps up the attack by 400, right?
Yeah.
I want to make sure before, I don't want to look like a fool. I think, yeah, it gives us 400 attack. So we could pump up our Bamboo Shoot during the damage step, and be over the Cyber Dragon. So we'd be able to protect Bamboo Shoot offensively and defensively. So Bamboo Shoot will be a force to be reckoned with. The next monsters we're going to go over are the 3 Naturia Cherries. Basically, when it's destroyed, you can search your deck like Nibble Manga and get 2 more cherries and set them face down. Now, although the card doesn't say, I don't think it says Special Summon, I think it says, let me see, yeah, okay, it does say Special Summon. But it says Special Summon face down. There's rulings against this card that if Dark Sea Morgue is on the field, you cannot use this effect. Even though it says Special Summon face down, you're still making a set, which you can't do. That's just one ruling on it. Main purpose of this card searchable out through Giant Rat and Naturia Cliff. He basically wants to use this card with Dandylion tokens to go Formula twice, because you time your attacks, like he said, and leave it to where their last monster is attacking a cherries. So you get 2 more cherries face down, and that's 2 level 1 tuners on the field. So that's his reason for the Naturia Cherries.
Yeah, and also in combination with the well-timed Scapegoat, and them hitting face down cherry and getting 2 more is also another basis to get into double or triple Formula Synchrons to draw what you need to get your out, to stop your opponent. The next we're going to go up against is Lonefire Blossom. One of the most hated cards right now of this format. I love it ever since I've been playing plants, since before the Quick Draw Synchron phase. Easily search out another planet. Basically, you're going to go into Lonefire to fuel your Pot of Avarice if you have it in hand. By then, you've already burned through maybe two rats, 2 cliffs, and a cherry. So you fuel in the graveyard, just in case you actually might have Spore in the graveyard already. You want to Pot of Av and then remove something and start over and go synchro crazy. You can also do that. Also brings out Dirty Girl, everyone hates, Queen type. Everyone hates her. Why? Because she can negate targeting. That means you target anything on any side of the field, she can stop that. So he can go straight into her, and they don't like that. So that means they're going to bottom this, they're going to warn, they're going to go craziness just to make sure that you don't get that effect. So I think it's one of the most powerful effects in the game at the current moment.
And this card is broken enough to where you can't just run 1. It's like you would have to run 2, because this card, like you said, gets you any plant from your deck. So if you don't have the Pot of Avarice in your hand, you don't necessarily have to go Lonefire into the plant that you need, because you run enough plants. You have the Dandylion, the Spore, the Glow-Up Bulb, and you also have the 3 Naturia Cherries. So it has enough targets to where you can leave 1 in the deck for later purposes. If you draw it, you can use it to get any other plant that you need at that particular time. So that's a really good play if you have the Pot of Avarice in your hand.
That's honestly what I do is I always conserve. I played in my plant deck. I played 2 Titanials, so I always go with Lonefire Titanium, just at the off chance that if I have a Sangan in my hand, I can always have it destroyed, grab another Lonefire, and then go right into another Titanial if needed be. Right. So conservation is the key. Time your attacks, time your destructions.
That's true. We're just going to go ahead and throw out the 3 main plants that everyone uses, because they're all an engine. Like, you really can't run one of these without the other ones, which would be Dandylion, Spore, and Glow-Up Bulb. I don't think we really need to go over too much about these. Everyone really knows like
Yeah,
why they're ran in a
self-explanatory.
deck. They're really self-explanatory. If you really don't know what they do, you need to go read them. They're broken as hell, and most people say any deck that runs a combination of these 5 cards is basically called a top tier deck right now. Just because that 5 combination is broken and can lead to so many combos, it's ridiculous.
The next monster we're going to get into is Snyffus. It's a beast tuner level 1, which can be combination in 1-for-1 with Spore, Glow Bulb, and Naturia Cherry. If this monster is in the graveyard and it sees a plant being destroyed, it can special summon itself out of the graveyard. Now, however, it's like Plague Spreader. If it does use that effect, it's removed from play afterwards. But still being a level 1 tuner, Earth, and you can go into another Formula Synchron, so it's pretty much self-explanatory. Anything else you want to add for that one, Adam?
It is searchable through our friend Giant Rat.
Yeah, that's true.
And he gets powered up by our side deck card. I'm sorry. This is going to be optional for later. We're not going to get into that
This
yet.
is optional right here. This is Close Forest. It powers up beast monsters by the number of
Dun, 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 dun.
each monster in your graveyard. I
Yep,
thought it was beast
number of
monsters.
monsters.
Like
No,
each
this is every monster.
in your graveyard. So that's always an option for you to do as far as side deck.
We're gonna get to that in a little bit, but the last card I really don't think we need to go over too much, just to show how broken they are. Reborn Tengus. They're annoying. They make your opponent waste cards. They fuel your Pot of Avarice, and they love synchro monsters. Like, they love tuners. This card loves tuners. So
See, I think he loves Zephyros and a level 1 tuner. Can we say Trishula?
oh god, there's so many cards, so many broken combos. All right.
Can we say Trishula?
We're going to go with spell cards. 2 creature swaps. Like we said, we run a lot of creatures that say when they get destroyed, you get their effects. There's an endless amount of combos in your deck that you can do with creature swap. Cards that you can give your opponent would be the Reborn Tengu, kill it, replace itself on your side of the field. Give them a Cherries, kill it, replace itself on your side of the field. Cliff, same thing. Giant Rat, same thing. I mean, give them a Scapegoat token. Do whatever you need to do. Let them build up a big monster. Summon a little level 1 monster, give it to them, and take their monster. I mean, this card will piss people off. It really will. It's a great card for the deck.
Right now, people are claiming that Creature Swap is one of the most broken cards in the game. Now, I remember when that card first came out, and everyone was like, oh, Creature Swap, yeah, let's not run that. And now that they've seen Plant Zombies actually used it, they're like, oh my god, that card is so good right now. That's the phrase you'll hear. So good.
Yep.
I think the card is amazing. I combine it with Spell Striker when I game. Alright, next card. Self-explanatory, recycle everything, because you're going to be going through your rats, your bamboo shoots, your cliffs, and your cherries. So you really want to put those back in the deck so you can go into your next combination and synchro off and do whatever kind of shenanigans you actually have there. The next card, MST, you have to have an MST, because Solemns and Warnings and Bottomless Trap Holes and what else we got there? Phoenix Chains. You never know what your opponent has down there, especially Torrential. One thing to always keep in mind, the back card is always Torrential, unless you see it in the graveyard. So you overextend, you better MSC first. That's just one of our rules of thumb here in Louisiana.
We don't play Giant Trunade because the deck really is not an OTK kind of deck. I mean, it can with the right hand. Trust me, it can. But we don't run Trunade. We run MST. The main thing we figured out, because we really didn't have MST in the main deck at first. We had other cards that we'll mention maybe. If you want to hear it, we'll tell you if you PM us. But we had this card mainly because of Necro Valley. Necro Valley will hurt your deck so much. So we had to have at least one answer to get rid of Necro Valley. That is why we were deciding to leave it up to you if you wanted to side the Closed Forest, because Closed Forest can replace the Necro Valley, and it also powers up your Giant Rats and that Snyffus. I mean, it's not much, but it helps. Every little bit counts. So, alright, we got to try to speed up a little bit. So, I guess the staples we're going to throw out of the way are the Book of Moon, the Monster Reborn, and the Dark Hole. That will be the staples that we don't really need to go over because everybody knows what they do, and you really almost have to play them in every deck. We're going to go over Foolish Burial. This card is in here because you have a lot of targets that need to be in the graveyard. such as Dandylion, Spore, Glow Up Bulb, Snyffus. We have a lot of targets that need to go in the graveyard, and Foolish Burial helps get those cards to the graveyard as quick as possible.
Not to mention if you use them for recursion. Foolish Dandy and use Pot of Avarice immediately after if you need to do that right then and there. Next we got here is Mark of the Rose. Take for plant. Okay? Remove a plant, take a big monster, but you give it back. Now, however, if you take a plant and you beat them up with it and you summon another tuner and you tune it off if you can, they're not getting it back. Sad face for them, I understand. So that's one of the things that I love about that. Now, the ruling on that says that it's a cost. Now, when you activate this card, I don't think that ruling is right. When you activate this card, it says remove and equip. When I activate this card, they better MST Dust Tornado right then and there. I am not removing that plant just so I can equip this when it's not going to be touching, because I have to equip it. I have to equip it for the effect to go off. So, yeah, just letting you know that. Next card we're going to go is 1 for 1. Like we said earlier, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 monsters in the deck. Self-explanatory. You pick something that needs to be in the graveyard, and you go on with an OTK, especially if you have a Tengu on the field already. Next, Burden of the Mighty. One of my favorite tech cards, because it will stop a lot of people from doing a lot of crazy things to you because they have to. They're already at 2,000 and below, and if they do that and hit into a rat, then they're kamikazing, and it's replacing itself so it can continually attack. After that, last but not least, we have Scapegoats. Oh, I'm sorry. We skipped Forbidden Chalice. Forbidden Chalice, we run in 2 of these suckers. Therefore, we can get over just in case somebody is playing Raikou or Spy or anything with a flip effect during the damage step. We'll say...
Raikou. Just say Raikou. Raikou's good.
Yeah, just Raikou. Yeah, but you will come across that random person who's got that Morphing Joy number 2. And you don't want that. You don't want that at all. No, it does not destroy. So you got a field full of monsters and your Tengu is one.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I used to play these cards. That's why I'm protecting you against those.
You're rambling. We gotta come on.
I understand. And the last but not least is Scapegoat. Like we said, level 1 tokens, Earth, Barkion, Beast mode.
Formula.
Into the traps. Adam, take it away.
Oh, go. Okay. All right. Well, my turn. We took this down from 3 to 1. Just because we found that it's fun to do this, but there's really only one thing you can combine this with without negging yourself. I mean, yeah, you creature swap a card to your opponent and then attack it, and I mean, you replace yourself, but you could creature swap them your card and then compulse it back to your hand. Therefore, you got their monster, they don't have yours, you still use the card to get your card back, so it's not a plus. The only card you can plus yourself off of with this is Reborn Tengu. That's the only card you can give to them and bounce it back to your hand, and you get a plus off of it. So we put it down to 1. It's a great card, just not, you don't need 3 of it. Everybody's going to give us hell about this, but we replaced Dimensional Prisons with 2 Scrap Iron Scarecrows. If you think about it, Dimensional Prison really is only in there because it doesn't say destroy, so we're not scared of Stardust Dragon. And these cards are in here to continuously protect Bamboo Shoot once it's on the field. And they protect the attacks of your opponent's monsters, since he said he wanted to control how many attacks his opponent got, as far as him ending their turn with him having cherries on the field. This card will definitely help that out. It's reusable over and over again, so it's really, 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 really good in this deck. Standard staples, Mirror Force, Call the Haunted. Just everybody knows what those do. We added Torrential because there's way too many OTK decks running around, and you have to have an answer to them going apeshit and summoning a bunch of monsters in one turn. Everyone's favorite Solemn Judgement. You gotta have the power to say no. Every single deck has to have the power to say no. It was Yu-Gi-Oh! Planet's tech card, Transmigration Prophecy. He has a whole video about this card. If I get a chance, I'm going to put the link over there by Kirby. Come on, T-Bert, show me where it's at. Over there by Kirby. We're going to put the link over there by Kirby, letting y'all know why he wants to run this card. So we had to put this in the deck. It's a great card. I'm going to let his video explain why he wants to put this in his deck. The last trap is the Dark Bribe. We went 1 Bribe, 1 MST, and we sided the other MST and Bribe just for... This counter trap card is going to help out in the side deck. It's going to control what cards your opponent plays and what cards you allow to go through. We're going to jump to the side deck now. The 3 Beast Kings, they're in here just because they're Earth, so it helps out with Gozen Match, and they're also a beat stick. Even if you don't have skill drain, it's 1900 attack. That's great for a level 4. I mean, well, he's going to be a normal summon, so he's technically like a level 4. But under skill drain, he's going to be a 3000 beater that your opponent's going to have to do something to get him off the field. We side the Titanial because Titanial is just amazing. It helps out under skill drain because it's a big beat stick. And, I mean, there's only one card in our side deck that's going to conflict with this, but it's one card in the entire deck that's going to hurt. So we side the 2 Wave Motion Cannons because there's going to be so many continuous cards on the field that your opponent's going to have to worry about. This takes their eyes off of Burden. This takes their eyes off the skill drains, the oppressions, the Grave of Super Ancient Organisms, because this card will threaten your life points. This card will kill you. So you have to get rid of Wave Motion first. So that's going to be your first priority. Next, we side the MST, like we said, to help out against Necro Valley. Personal preference, you can run 2 MSTs, 2 Bribes main, whichever one you want, side 1 and 1. So we went 1 and 1 just to give more versatility. The 1 Safe Zone, we would go into a very, very descriptive ruling on this, but basically, if I activate Safe Zone on T-Bert's monster, he can still attack me directly. This card says player A, whenever I'm equipped to a monster, that monster cannot attack player A. So basically what it says is I can't attack myself. I'm sorry, it says can't attack player B, which would be him. So even if I equip this to his monster, so it's over here, this card says I can't attack player B. And he's like, well, aren't I yours? Yeah, let's attack him still. So yeah, y'all need to know that ruling. It protects Bamboo Shoot, so they have to get rid of the Safe Zone before they get rid of the Bamboo Shoot. And since they can't play spells and traps, they have to use a Raikou. So we have the Forbidden Chalices to stop that. 2 Grave of Super Ancient Organism. It stops Black Rose Dragon. It stops Dark Arm Dragon, Judgment Dragon. Any monster special summon that's level 6 or higher, it's going to stop their effects and they can't attack. So they're just going to sit there looking stupid while we have our Wave Motion on the field. Because they're not going to be able to do anything.
Stops Christian Hyperions too.
It stops so much stuff. The only one that gets under it, because he's a little punk, is Legendary 6 Samurai Shi'en. But we're going to deal with his punk ass. Skill Drains. This is how we deal with him. We only run 2. We don't run 3 because it's going to clutter the deck. We don't want you to draw 3 Skill Drains and have them dead in your hand. So we put 2 to throw people off. Because you know you don't want to fill your hand up bad. We side the 2nd Dark Bribe. Oh, I threw you off? Yeah, I got him. Threw him off. Went with the Dark Bribe because, like we said, the MST Dark Bribe, swap, reversible, whatever one you want to do, main deck, side deck. It protects our trap cards that are continuous, so they can't MST if we don't want them to. We'll go with the Gozen Match, since that's the one you wanted to show everybody. Almost everything in the deck is Earth. Titanial conflicts with it because it's fire, and so does Lonefire because it's fire and... Oh, she's wind. I'm sorry, yeah, they're wind. The Tengu's wind, Titanial's wind, and Lonefire's are fire. That's the only things. But other than that, this card is going to protect all your monsters because they're Earth. So you don't have to worry about it. And your opponent's going to have a difficult time getting around this because they're not going to be able to synchro with what they want because the levels are going to conflict with one another. And last side deck card is the Unbreakable Royal Oppression. Card acts like a counter trap. We don't really need to go over what it does. We just say it do what it do.
Yes, it does. Now, as far as the extra deck, we wanted to keep with some of the things that he already had in there. So, since it's called the double formula, we went with the Formula Synchron. Obviously, you want the race card man, so you can draw a card, go into that, and get whatever you...
Oh. We lost T-Bert, y'all.
The next,
Whoa, we got him back. Our video is telling us that we have to hurry up because it's cutting you off.
Alright. Next thing we're going to do is Armory Arm. Armory Arm, as you know, is equipped to a monster, gives it 1,000. You give it to a Bamboo Shoot, and he's a force to be reckoned with because now he's 3,000 and they basically have to kamikaze him. And if we also have Burden of the Mighty on the field, then that means their monster is going down and they cannot use magic and traps. Alright. Next thing we're going into is Naturia Beast. Level 5 needs all Earth, but guess what? Most of these things are Earths. So we can go in from Scapegoats to a level 1 Earth monster and stop magic cards, so they can't do anything with that. Next thing is Ally of Justice Catastor, level 5, auto kills anything not dark. One thing that you want to have, especially in this meta, because everyone's using every different element of all across the board. Next monster is Brionic, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. Sometimes you need Dandy in the graveyard so you can fluff up tokens. Alright, you go up to level 6, you bounce whatever they have that's threatening you back there, just in case it's a Mirror Force or Deep Prison, anything. You bounce it, get it out of the way so you can go on in your onslaught. Next thing we got is Naturia Barkion, all Earth once again. You use everything Earth across the board, and you can stop now. You can stop their trap cards at the cost of removing 2 cards from the graveyard. So it's pretty self-explanatory, and it has 2,500 attack, so he's a force to be reckoned with. Next, Queen of Thorns. I love this tech right here. It looks like, alright, there we go. I love this tech here because it needs a tuner and a non-tuner plant monster. So that means you can go crazy with a Dandy and a level 3 tuner, and or
Scapegoat tokens. Scapegoat tokens and Cliff or any other 4 with a tuner.
It has to be a non-tuner plant.
I know. Naturia Cliff is the non-tuner plant, level 4. Then we use Scapegoat or a Dandylion token and any level 1 tuner that we have in the deck equals level 6.
And basically they gotta pay 1,000 to normal summon, flip summon, or special summon. I'm sorry, normal special summon a non-plant. So basically they're burning their life points just to get something onto the field, especially when they're playing Judgment Dragon. 2,000, how you doing? Next monster we're going to get into is a Black Rose Dragon. Stable. That's all you need to know is stable. Next, this is your choice. You have a Scrap Dragon, or you have an Ancient Fairy Dragon. I personally like both of these cards. Now, however, if you don't get a Scrap Dragon, Ancient Fairy is the way to go, especially against zombies and Gravekeepers. You blow it up, you can add a field magic card like the Close Forest and activate your own, plus you gain 1,000 life points while you're sitting in defense waiting for your next move. So it's one thing that's I love to do. Next thing is Colossal Fighter. Yeah, Hulk Smash, right? Kamikaze, he comes back. Especially against the Scrap Dragon. You just keep on doing it. It's amazing. Next thing we have is Stardust Dragon. Stardust Dragon says no to destruction. He's a common, he's a staple. I'm going to go into Shooting Star Dragon because once you get Formula and Stardust on the field, you basically have a big monster that does 3 things. Can attack as many times as soon as you reveal, negate destruction, and negate an attack. Alright? And of course, the last card is going to be Trishula Dragon of the Ice Barrier. And when you go into Trishula, bad things happen, especially if they have something on the field, in their hand, and in the graveyard. So basically, their key card is going to be in the graveyard. Card they wanted to keep in the hand is in the hand. And they have something that's impeding you, like maybe something they didn't want to use, it's on the field. So you basically can get 3 for 1 card. Even if they do bottomless, you're getting something. You're getting at least 3 to 4 cards off of them just by bringing out that one monster. So
one thing I want to add about Trishula that a lot of people don't know, this card does not target. That's the first thing I want to say. The card does not target. It removes the cards at resolution. So this card looks at Arcus and pwns him. This card looks at Titania and pwns her. It does not target. So if they have a bottomless set and they have a monster on the field, a card in hand, and say anything in graveyard, and you summon Trishula, if they do not respond with bottomless whenever it is summoned, and let's say you target the bottomless, the card in hand, and one in the graveyard, they cannot chain bottomless trap hole. Their timing is off. It misses the timing. The card is already on the field. So basically, if they flip the bottomless, it lets you know, hey, I need to remove the monster, don't I? So make sure you understand that about this card. This card removes the cards at resolution. That is why this card is completely broken. It is almost always a guaranteed plus, no matter what.
Yeah, of course. It really is. I mean, you have to activate the effect, and they have to effect veil it right then and there. Because that resolution, that's when it's going to remove. So if they remove an effect veiler, a Gores, a battle fader, anything that could stop you from the hand, from hitting you in that one turn. So yeah, we're gonna conclude that as the deck list. Hope you like it, Yu-Gi-Oh! Planet, aka I think his name is John. Let's just make sure. Brandon. Sorry, Wales.
I was about to
Brandon
say,
from New York,
John?
Yu-Gi-Oh! Planet. Guess what? Your deck list has been G-hopped. Greatest Noob.
G-hop by the Greatest Noob. That has been G-hop by the Greatest Noob. We want everybody to thumbs up the video if you like the deck. Thumbs down the video if you really don't like the deck with the deck, the changes that we made. We stayed within his budget. Obviously, any deck can put Solemn Warnings and Pot of Dualities in it and call it a deck. But you don't have to have those to win. And that's what we're trying to show everybody. You don't have to run what everyone else is running to win. So just have fun. And the other thing we want to say is leave your comments down below. You get one whole characteristic comment. If you want your deck pimped out by GHopper85 and
The Greatest Noob,
T-Bert325, leave your comment down below describing your deck and what's the whole purpose of the deck, what's its win condition, whatever you want to tell about the deck. It's like your little chance to add in whatever you want about your deck, your little second to shine. We won't be choosing what decks. My viewers and T-Bert's viewers of the video will be choosing which decks that we pick. The one with the most accumulated thumbs up between the video on my channel and the video on his channel will be the one that we will pick whenever we decide to pick our decks. So make sure you get your friends, your subscribers, make a video, do whatever you're going to do. Go make 20,000 accounts and go thumbs up your comment. Whatever you got to do to get your deck pimped out and G-hopped on by me and T-Bert325, do whatever you got to do. So, anything else you want to add?
make sure it's hot. Use action verbs. People normally go after deck lists and
wow.
Whenever they think that the deck list is actually or the deck idea is crazy and off the wall. Like if you going, oh, I want to G-hop my Gravekeeper deck. Really? Are you serious? Man, everybody got that. No. Make it hot. Make it like mix Tengus with like Nordics and zombies and plants and black wings or something. Okay, maybe not that, but make it hot. It's basically what I'm saying.
I don't think you can throw Tengus in every deck and make them better. There are some decks that can't use Tengu. There's a very few, but there's some that can't do it. But we're at 37 minutes. We don't want to keep y'all a whole hour-long segment. Look at me smiling like a donut. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and let y'all go. Like I said, thumbs up the video if you like the deck. Thumbs down the video if you don't. This has been GHopper85.
And T-Bert325. I am the greatest noob. I lost my token. Here we go.
He is the greatest noob.
G-hopped. Greatest noob style.
Peace out, YouTube.